Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing? Hello. Good evening. And welcome. Bit of a rush to get onto the live then. Just jumped out the shower. Hey, how we doing? Who we got in? Who's there? Gillian, Franz, Kalitos, the Mad Wecker. Spooky Dookies Reviews. Hello. Skadius. Callum, hello. How is everybody doing? Shandy, hello. How are you doing? Mike, hello. How are you doing, sir? Do apologise. I'm still getting dressed. You're good, Callum. Oh, that's great. Oh, Tina's in. At least we've got one mod. Excellent. Franz, good evening. Woolowitz Cooper, hello. JD, hello. And everyone in chat, hello. There's quite a few people here this evening. Babsy's in. Hello, Babsy. Excellent. We've got two mods. Yeah, so the two mods what are popping up are half the mods that was there at the RAF base who we pranked the other week. What's everybody being up to? I know it's being a bit quiet on YouTube between the debunkers and some of the investigators. It's being last couple of weeks has been a bit hectic, really. There's a lot going on what you guys actually don't know about. Just chilling out. Excellent, Callum. Roy, hello. Just got home from work. Excellent. It is perfect timing. Yeah. I should maybe put a hat on. Not doing anything. Just got out the shower. It's rained and rained and rained today, says Gillian. Whereabouts are you, Gillian? Oh, he was watching the prank video. Yeah, we just thought, how can we cheer the mods up and kind of break them in by kind of like breaking the ice. Although they've been with us before, they've not all been together in one group. Burnley. Right, okay. From Burnley, Gillian. Excellent. I've been looking at, I don't know where I've put my list. Was it Claire or somebody on Sunday give me a location to look at? An old kind of Roman settlement. We are looking into that because it's not that far from us. Kim, a newbie here from my haunted hotel. Excellent. Have you been there, Kim? Have you been to investigate? It's roasting in Kent, is it, Mike? Hasn't been so bad today. Where we are in East Yorkshire, it was raining earlier on, and as the afternoon progressed, it got pretty hot. Oh, Gillian's just over the hill from Shandy. Cool. Oh, excellent, Callum. You love the prank video. It's good to see people having a laugh. Yeah, it certainly is. Tony and I, we always have a laugh when there's just two of us, but we don't put a lot of it in the videos because it doesn't look that professional. But I can guarantee you we do have a laugh. We're just messing about, really, building that energy up with the girls there. Brett, hello, Brett. How are you doing, sir? From my haunted hotel, currently sat investigating room 4. Wow, excellent. Brett, have you had any more shirt lifting ghosts? You know what I mean? My shirt was lifted. That room 6 video, what I did, that I was knackered. I had about an hour and a half sleep. I did, obviously, there was only about 15 minutes or so footage I put in there. I just couldn't get to sleep. I didn't hear that tapping, by the way. I heard the window tapping. Every now and again, it was 2 taps. But in the room, you could hear like knocks, sounded like slaps or claps or something. But I couldn't hear them. It was really weird. Some people have asked if there is any electronic devices rigged underneath the bed. So every time I moved, it made a noise. If that was the case, I would have heard it. but I didn't hear a thing. We did actually check places for wiring. We didn't find anything. I'm sure there's nothing electrical in there, what we could see anyway. Um, I think you all need to go. You need to kind of witness that yourself, what's going on in my haunted hotel, because it is pretty cool. We were surprised. Um, I wish it's down south. This weather is depressing. It should be red hot and sunny. It's summer. Callum, yeah, I'm kind of the opposite. I prefer autumn. I don't like it too hot. I used to when I was a bit younger. I was kind of a sun worshipper. I was always walking around with a tan, but now I can't do that. Oh, Brett's saying we had a message claiming a T-shirt was lifted, but we weren't able to catch it on camera. Oh, right. Was that in the same room? Room 3, I believe, wasn't it? Yeah. Uh, Brett, I don't know if you saw it before when people was asking me about the shirt lifting before. Um, I nearly didn't radio that in because I felt my shirt move a little bit and I didn't think anything of it. And I said to Tony, I'm sure my shirt's just being moved. He said, oh, just radio it in, tell them to have a look. But good job I did. Excuse me. You've, have we, Mike? We've got 24 hours of rain incoming. Gillian would go again. All right, okay, Brett. Since that experience, you've taken more personal experiences like that more seriously. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I'm sure you hear things all the time and you're like, yeah, yeah, all right. But it's worth just taking a look, isn't it? But if it was coming from like Tony or myself or even Beardo, we wouldn't be making that up anyway. It wouldn't. We're not in it for that sort of thing. It's you know, I'm glad it was caught on camera. Andrew, hello, sir. You've got skin like Harry from my haunted hotel. What's that? I, I can't say I was really taking that much notice of Harry's skin. You had a smell of like sweat. Is that sweat? Sweet sweat in room 3, and the smell of sulfur. Weird. Obviously, you can't document smells, can you? You would need somebody else to back you up with that. You should radio the control room and get them to come up and try and locate where the smell's coming from. You saw something today that throws my shirt lifting into question. I saw a gadget that wafts your shirt for hot days. I thought of instantly, made you chuckle. I can promise you I was not wearing any shirt lifting gadgets. We was there obviously to debunk, as Brett knows as well, and that's what we was trying to do, but we couldn't debunk that. We don't know what created it. Eric, hello. Full of shirt lifters in Accrington. Okay. Olive skin like Harry. Okay. Two of you didn't smell the sulfur. The guy who was with could smell it. Right. Thoughts on stone tape theory or residual hauntings? I'm curious what the quartzite content of the hotel's foundation. um, I'm totally with the stone tape theory. As you know, PSI have always spoken about stone tape theory and kind of improving the stone tape theory using instead of electricity, because we've sat and talked to Richard Felix about this in Derby Jail for about an hour and 20 minutes. Richard, obviously, he coined the phrase, but he kind of tries to put electricity into the fabric to try and activate those quartz crystals in that kind of stonework, if you like. But we thought that's not necessarily what you need to do. As you've seen before, we use it on quite a few locations. We use vibration. We try to match the vibration of that quartz in the brickwork. which is why at the haunted hotel we was playing the at different frequencies. You're joking, Shandy. What was that about? Was that about the shark lifting in Accrington? You see claims of clothes being pulled from other places and investigations. I think Griff from Orbit possibly had an experience a while back, right? Was it cold? No, it was absolutely boiling. The heating wasn't on. I think Brett said it was one of those places where in summer it's absolutely hot and in winter it's just cold. Um, no heating on. We did detect. They didn't show it in their footage, but we was going around with a thermal camera, and there was heat signatures coming up from the floorboards from downstairs, which is the bar area. So there's a lot of heat escaping upstairs into the top floor, so that's why it's so hot. Shirtlifting ghost vibrators. Oh my! It was really hot when you was there as well. Right, right. Mike saying, don't forget to smash that like button on the way in. Cool. Using advice like that, it did make me think of you. Right, okay. Well, I'm glad that reminded you of us getting our shirt lifted. Sounds like we're investigating the Playboy Mansion. I just put my cup of tea on the floor. So as you may have seen from the recent video we put up, it's just a short video of us messing around. We're trying to get that negative aura, if you like, away from investigators and debunkers, because it's been crap just recently. As you know, you've seen some of the drama, what's going on, which is why we pranked the mods, took them with us. But we did get some good responses, what we haven't put up yet. We was in a room. Barbara, I think she's still on here. If she isn't, she's modding on TikTok at the same time. Jillian, yeah, it is pathetic, all the toxic stuff going on. I'm that type of person where I can only stand it for so long. I don't like being around negative people either. It makes me ill. I just bollocks to it. That's how I feel about negativity. I'm just not interested. Were we in complete darkness in each room at my haunted hotel? Says Cassie. No, we wasn't. They have like wall lamps or like little flickering lights, what look like candles. Gave you just enough brightness to see. That's why in that room 6 video I did, you can see flashing. There's some like teardrop bulbs in what keep flickering. You felt sorry for Purple. Yeah, I have spoken to Rob through inbox on Messenger. So we do all keep in touch, even though it's not here on YouTube. Do you think a lot of the noises are manifested due to expectations? That's a good question, Kim. We are big believers in that you can manifest energy to create things like that due to expectation. It's a good theory. It's a shame Purple took all his videos down. Right? Yeah, yeah. I know why he's done it, and I think he's done it for the right reasons. That's my opinion. Because all this negativity also gets to Purple. It affects people differently. So when you're working a full-time job and you're coming onto YouTube and seeing a load of crap off everybody, you just think, can't be doing with it. Callum's taken a backward step from negativity, though. It seems to have calmed down. It has, yeah. It has calmed down. I think it's because we haven't been putting many videos up. Beardo hasn't, and I know Purple hasn't. He will be back, yes, definitely. I think they're going out. People that are claiming these things are happening or happened to them, they're going to go out to these locations and try to recreate that. Um, some of it they're not going to be able to, obviously, because it depends what happens, doesn't it? You know what debunkers do and investigators do. It is just our opinion. Certainly, a lot of videos what are faked can be done several different ways. They can be faked several different ways. This is why all these debunkers and investigators are coming at it from different views, if you like. Thinking along the same lines, resonant frequency being able to store or release data. Yeah, obviously the crystals. I think they do it nowadays. They store books on tiny, tiny crystals, little quartz crystals, full like the Bible on a tiny little crystal. So to activate those crystals, you've got a frequency to get it vibrating, and to match that frequency, I think, is the way forward. Rachel, Rachel Thompson's here. So that's three mods, but I think Babs is jumping from TikTok to YouTube. For those of you that watched the video with the pranking the mods, has anybody got any questions for the mods while they're in? REM pods, can they be set off by vibration from a truck going by? No, not really. It has to be kind of some sort of radio frequency. Mobile phone is technically an RF signal. I think if it's a truck in the next street, vibration, no. There maybe have to be something close, because when you see the REM pod, it works when you put your hand about 4 to 6 inches next to it, because you're distorting that kind of EM field or whatever it is it puts out. It is up to Parple what he does. Yeah, I know some people wouldn't have took their videos down, but Parple's not in it for the money, and he's certainly not in it for the negativity like we're not. So stepping back is a good thing for us and for him. And I know that the debunking channels are approaching things differently now. It isn't possible for every paranormal group to have anything paranormal happen, or is it impossible to keep meeting a demon? Demon. Are you talking about the Americans? Demons. Demons. I've never met a demon in my life. Dated a few. Have I met any investigators that feel are genuine? Evidence that's not faked or altered. I have, yeah. As you may or may not know, Tony and I are members of the Warren Foundation for Paranormal Research. There's quite a lot like us in there. They stay in the background, but they watch everything. Danny Moss as well from Haunted Hotel. He's very similar to us when he investigates. He's so skeptical as well. How much did Mods want to slap Mark and Tony for pranking them? I don't know. Mods, how much did you want to slap us for pranking you? Mike's saying the mods need to get their own back with a mega prank. Yeah, we're expecting something coming back. We really are. Phones do set REM pods off. I think we had this discussion last time. It depends what kind of oscillators and circuitry is in the REM pod, because they all use different ones depending who's built it. Different frequencies set off different oscillators, don't they? Because especially when they're not shielded. Oh, Rachel saying, to be honest, she thought it was radio interference. Yeah, because both Tony and I have a radio on us at all time, because we separate, so we need to keep in touch with each other. And we give one to the mods who went round in a group of 4. So they thought it was radio interference at first. Andrew, that's good to hear that you support all debunkers and real investigators. We don't always get it right. I'm not saying that, but we've always got an explanation. It was funny, Rachel. We did have a good laugh. Oh, you're going to get your own back, Tina. Excellent. So, anyway, we're going to talk about cursed items. Has anybody got a cursed item? I've got 2 with me right now. Badger, hello. How are you doing, sir? Has anyone got any items what they believe is cursed? Bad luck. Oh, excellent. You're waiting for someone to say their wedding ring. Yeah, pawned man. Took it to the pawn shop and sold it. I'm not married to Tina. You think your car's cursed? Why is that, Jay? What would I think would happen if broke the glass case that Grace was in, Woolowitz? I think they'd get glass all over the floor and inside the case. I mean, I've said this to Danny and Brett. PSI personally don't think that there's any attachment to that doll at all. That's our opinion. I know people experience things when they go in there, but this is why we're talking about curses, because we're going to go into why it's happening and things. I spent half an hour by myself in room 8 with a Grace doll. Nothing. I tried to do a live. My phone overheated and it went off. You pawned yours a year ago. Oh, right. Okay. Why do you think you're cursed, Shandy? You had a cursed wife. You exorcised her, Gaz. Callum believes in demons. The universe is a tussle between good and evil. Yeah. People have their own beliefs. Your wallet, it's always empty. What do I think of the cobweb feelings on your head and face when there's no webs? That's kind of it's a change in the energy, isn't it? I mean, I know what you're saying. I've felt it as I've walked into rooms. It's just the energy changing, I think. That's my opinion. I don't think there's a ghost stood there touching me like this. I mean, if a ghost could touch it, kick you in the nuts or something, wouldn't it? Yeah, I do know what you think. Sorry, what you mean by the cobweb feeling. You didn't go into Grace's room. You've seen a few things you can't explain, but still question everything. I've never put it down to paranormal. Yeah, Kim. I don't think we've ever said something is paranormal in the 18 years PSI is being investigated. We leave a lot of things unexplained because there's some things you just can't answer. Oh, Jay, you think your car's cursed because people keep making random dents in it? Badger's mother told him to destroy a statue in the style of an Egyptian god. She said it brought bad luck. I threw it away. 3 hours later, he was in a bad motorcycle accident. Oh, wow. Yeah, things like that happen, but then you got to think, is it coincidental? Or is it because you knew, which is what we're going to go into shortly? You think I'm hypersensitive too? Who knows? Believe you attract energy to you. If you feel something, you will attract it to you. If you do not, it will get positive energy to. Yeah, they say like attracts like, don't they? So if you're being negative, you're going to attract that sort of thing. You're going to have shitty luck. And how can I be 100% sure an item is cursed, haunted? Glad somebody asked that, Eric. Situation, height, alert state, and looking for things. Yeah, Shandy. Yeah. You will recognise these. I've got 2. I'll just reach across and grab a smaller one first. I don't keep these in the house, by the way. I experimented with these two items a couple of years back for about 3 months. And I had them in the bedroom next to the bed. Don't believe in inanimate object can be cursed or have an attachment. I kind of agree. So I've got some of the original Crime Boy prints. This one's numbered and everything on the back. These are like rocking horse shit now. They're very difficult to get hold of. The only place you probably find them is in like a charity shop or something like that. There's one. This is one of the earlier ones. This is the boy. There's also the girls, and I've got a girl as well. This one's bigger. So that's the girl. A lot of people's parents probably had these from the the older generation. That's the girl. Now, I did some research on these. I did a write-up about these in the Hull Daily Mail about 14 years ago. 2 different artists. I'm going to let you Google this after this live because this is really interesting. Female artists basically just drew these pictures of crying children, but the male artist, I'm going to have to Google his surname. I should have wrote this down. Just a second. Giovanni Bragolin. Bruno Amarillo. It was 2. I knew it was 2. 2 male. So I believe it was Giovanni which stands out to me as the worst artist, and I'll tell you why shortly. Rachel's on it. We didn't. Let's have a look. I mean, these were really famous mid-70s to mid-80s. There was a lot of house fires in the UK, probably in America as well. I don't know how far these prints went, how far around the world they went. A lot of house fires, and these were the only things to survive the house fire. They have been tested and everything like that. It is down to the print or the paint that was done with why they didn't burn. They're just flame retardant. But the house fires, people blamed the house fires on these paintings as well. Now, it's said that if you knew about the curse, it can happen to you. You could have a house fire. If you didn't know about the painting, you were safe. The reason why there was a lot of house fires was chip pan fires, UK. Pans full of like oil, hot oil, when you cook your potatoes up, sling them in, the wet and cold into boiling fat, and it's boom. I know a few firefighters, and they said it was one of the most common things to be called out for was a house fire, due to chip pans. Chip pans or like deep fat fries nowadays have thermostats on them, so they're not dangerous like that anymore. They're still dangerous, but they're not going to burst into flames. Other ones, I've got a painting that my friend says haunted. Some strange things I've been put on the back of his car. Doesn't bother me though. It's on my bedroom wall now. Charlotte. All right, cool. Friend says haunted. Yeah, well, if anybody's got any paintings or anything, what they think are cursed or haunted, we'll have them. We've got a collection of strange objects. But yeah, I'll get on with it. I think it was the boys. Was it Giovanni? Did I say Giovanni Bragolin, 1911 to 1981? Story has it that he had live subjects. He had the children, but he would go get the children from like orphanages. They're orphans. They had no family, no parents, nothing. So they kept them in buildings, and obviously fed them. But he would go rescue them. Oh, this is what he told them, from an orphanage, and he kept them in rooms upstairs in his loft. But he locked them in. He didn't feed them. He was mean to them. They wasn't looked after, and these kids were dying. Um, and obviously, they were in tears a lot. And he would have them stand there as he's painting them. That to me, I won't swear, that is bad. And this story hangs on to these paintings, or this painting in particular. To me, this is obviously a print. 1970s fire safety wasn't great back then. No flame retardant material or good regulations. Exactly, Mr. Rough Dog. But people like myself, I've done it when I was a lot in my 20s. I would come in from a nightclub, half cut, and I was hungry. I'd put the oven on, sling a pizza in or a quiche, and I'd fall asleep on the settee. And quite a lot of the time, I'd set the smoke alarm off. On my dad would, you know, he'd come down because I'd fill the house with smoke. So I know why these chip pans were causing fires. The old chip pan chimneys not being swept. Yeah, Andrew, that was another cause for fires, obviously. But 70s, 80s, that not many people had open fires in their homes, depending how old the home was. I had it in one of my homes. I loved my open fire. You've got a Rolf Harris painting. No, thank you. I'll only have it if it's haunted. You can keep that, Badger. Don't know about the UK, but back in the day, it was popular to use kerosene heaters to cut down on heating bills. Not the safest things. No, I can imagine. We had oh crap! I got dust all over my shirt off that painting now. We had the little portable fires. What you put a gas bottle in the back. They were so dangerous. They still are. Right, you used the paraffin heat, and they used to go up in flames. You got painting your granddad when he was in the Navy, and it always freaked you out. When you was a kid, the eyes always followed you around the room. Creepy. Mr. Rufto, quiche, very 70s. I love quiche. I still do. I can't eat prawn cocktails. I don't like prawns. Angus Steakhouse. Well, I'll tell you what I did with these paintings. I really actually like this one. The boy one. I mean, there's a lot of different paintings out there of different people. This is one of them. This is one that's really hard to get hold of. I mean, it's scratched to shit out of as well on the sides there. I really like this one. I had these in the bedroom for 3 months. I knew the story of the crying boy. We didn't have any house fires because obviously chip pans were back in the 70s and 80s. We started having things happen in the house. Footsteps going around the bedroom. I could hear footsteps. Sat up, 10 light and nothing there. I could hear, I've got a few bags in the room. Bags were moving, being rustled. 10 light and nothing there. I'd get up, go to work. I'd have a horrible day at work. I just had bad luck. I got ill. I put this down to me knowing the story to these paintings. Although I call them cursed, the actual curse is me creating that energy because of these items. There's no energy on these items at all. I know that. But in my head, I know the story, if that makes sense. We create our own energy and our own, like, surroundings. It's us doing it. If we, like I said earlier, if we go out in a bad mood, we're going to attract negative energy anyway. Go out in a good mood, everybody's happy that's around you. Well, nearly everybody. There's all sorts of happening, but the boy one, I loaned it to Ricky from Ricky Eats World, who's done a few experiments with us. I don't know if some of you know him. As soon as he took it home, he got 2 punctures in his tires. um, he was missing payments from his bank. Excuse me. And this is because he knew the story. So he was creating this to happen in his life. And I personally, that's what I believe. You create what's going on in your life, whether it's triggered by a cursed painting or a cursed doll. And somebody earlier asked me about the Grace doll. Do I think it is cursed? No, I don't. But I've now heard the stories about the Grace doll. If someone, I mean, I wouldn't let it affect me if I went into that room. Some people would, and they don't know they're doing it, and things start manifesting from that type of energy. You are creating energy in the room. It's not positive, is it? It's negative. So you're hearing noises, knocks, and things like that. And that is one of PSI's theories, anyway. Anyway, I've been waffling on a bit there. Let's catch up with some of these things, what you've been saying. Badger's saying, someone's at the back door, back in a bit. Callum, I remember when there used to be a lot of house fires. I used to watch London's Burning. I love London Burning. My favourite character, John Hallam, played by Sean Blowers. He's an underrated actor. I never really watched London's Burning, to be honest. But yeah, great. Don't forget we had regular power cuts in the 70s because of turmoil. People used unattended candles. Yeah, definitely. The paper did ask everybody, you're right, Andrew, yes. Everybody to send the crying boy pictures to be burnt to lift the curse. I remember that. I saw the newspaper cutouts about that. But some survived, and they are becoming very collectible because you can't get hold of them now. When I finish with these tonight, they will go back in the shed outside. I won't have them in the house because I know the story to them, and I don't want to create any type of negative energy. Your grandma had one as a little girl and a lassie dog, Babs. All right. Believe people can send curses to other people via sending their negative energy towards them, Charlotte. Psychic attack, yeah. Some people call it witchcraft. I don't recommend doing things like that. You know, if people know to do that, I mean, I do know about it. We have researched it, but just stay away from it. You know, it's going to make you ill and give you bad luck. If you're sending negativity out, it's going to come back at you, isn't it? I mean, that's the laws of witchcraft, isn't it? Is it threefold or something? Or is it tenfold? I don't know. It's our Spook Fest. Have a good time at work. Mike, we create our own reality. Yeah, we do. So I always say, surround yourself with good people. Tonkinado, do I believe in items, objects holding a curse? No, I don't. But that said, I call them cursed paintings because I have done a 3-month experiment on them in the bedroom. I should maybe reword that. I've had them in the bedroom on the wall for about 3 months, and my whole life was turned upside down. And I think that's because of me knowing the backstory to these things and how and why they was painted. It's not a very nice story, you know. And I believe I was creating that energy, that sort of negative energy, because of these paintings. threefold, Andrew. All right. Kim, yeah, I do believe that we can create these paranormal issues. Poltergeist activity, there's a good example. Poltergeist activity is created off the living. It's not off the dead. But you can't manifest a voice, can you? Who knows, Wolowitz? I mean, you're going in that room like the grey stall. You're going in that room scared. You've heard all the stories. You don't know how your mind works. You're filling this room with like a scared energy, and whatever else is going with that fear, do you know? And maybe that's what it takes to manifest a spirit because of the surrounding fabric of the building as well. Who knows? Maybe there's, like residual hauntings in a building. Like we've mentioned, the stone tape theory. Things that can play back like a residual is held in the brickwork, in the quartz, in the brickwork. Maybe it takes that type of energy, that type of vibration to activate it. Who knows? These are all just theories. We can't say as paranormal investigators, yes, that is how it's happening. But nobody else can say, no, it isn't why it's happening. Nobody knows. Callum, oh, it's tenfold, is it? How about I leave him in the house covered up? I've left him in the house for 3 months. I am not tempting fate again. I'm not leaving him in the house. We've got some objects, what we could have like a small museum. Some of the things we've collected from around the world. They are two of the things what I won't have in the house. It's not because they're haunted or cursed, even though they kind of got that curse behind them. But I've experienced it firsthand, and I won't have them in the house. Not anymore. They're only here so I could show you guys them. And to let you know as well, one was sent to, I know what a lot of you think about Zach Bagans' museum in Vegas. One from the UK was sent to him, to his museum. He had loads of problems. His museum flooded and everything. Could have been coincidental, but who knows? Puerto Rican. Hello from New Jersey. I do believe that an object in ways can be empowered by focus of intent and energy and how much over time. Even hauntings that we may create. And the entities as well. Yeah, I agree with that. Your sister causes light bulbs to smash when she's in a bad mood. I totally agree that person's energy can affect things. Charlotte, can you get this on film and send us it? That'd be cool. I would hug Annabelle. I'd be respectful. Like I say, when you know an item is cursed, whether you believe it or not, you've got to be respectful. Where are we up to, Shandy? I don't know. I don't know what I was saying. Andrew, voodoo work. Yeah, we know quite a bit about voodoo as well. I've got some. I don't want to stand up on camera because I've just got out the shower and I don't want to scare everybody. I've got a couple of poppets from New Orleans up there on the shelf. I don't believe they are cast at all. They're just used as a focal point to focus your energy to send out to people. My Abuela, your grandmother had a Santeria doll that used in rituals, and it has been seen moving and felt by people with no knowledge of its purpose and plain sight as a regular doll. Can you send us it? No, I'm joking. I know you can't, but it'd be cool to own one just to document it. You'll try, Charlotte. Excellent. Neither way to look at it. If the negativity entity is attached to it, if you fear it will make bad things happen, I believe entities, good or bad, attached. You're open-minded. Oh, cool. Living amongst souls, paranormal. Hello, PSI paranormal. I like the fart prank you done. It was hilarious. Oh, cool. You know, I think we've started a prank war with our mods now. I think they're scheming together to get us back. Let's see if I can get up and go get these little poppet dolls from New Orleans. I'll just be a second. Unfortunately, my grandmother has passed some time ago, and the doll can only be handled to whom it was handed down next, or if person is ready to receive. Oh, right, yeah, totally understand that. If you think you've been cursed, the stress will kill you. It could do, yeah, I agree. Now, I've put these two in a coffin because I just, well, I think it was Tony gave me the coffin, and it just seemed right to put them in. Now, these don't come about very often. Actually, Tony gave me one. Tony gave me the green one. 7 years later, I saw another one on eBay. I think I've shown some people these before. Voodoo doll. Black one. These have got pins in. Marie Laveau got a shop in New Orleans. This is where these come from. I think last time I showed these, people said to me, "Can I borrow it? Because I want to get my ex back." And I think that was Rachel, our moderator. These have got different coloured pins in. These are only part of the ritual, what you do when you're doing black magic, which I don't recommend anyone do. So there you go. These ones are the small ones. These are called poppets. I can see the chat going like this now. What have I done? You're confused by my beliefs. You say that the paintings disturb me because of the backstory. So why do they have to go in the shed? Just cover them up, or out of sight, out of mind. No, I just won't have them in the house. I will not tempt fate. Like I said, I've done a 3-month experiment with these paintings, and things bad happened to me. I'm not saying it's the paintings, like I said. I think it's the energy I create because of the paintings. And even though they're covered up, I know they're there. So they're going to go in the shed until we have a home for all our weird items. The black one almost looks like a Power Ranger. If you go to New Orleans and don't want them to know you're a tourist, pronounce it Nowlins. So it looks like you belong there. All right. They're amazing. Yeah, we collect some right strange things. But that would have been me, Rachel. Yeah. You prefer Mrs. Geek's crochet voodoo dolls? I'm sure they're excellent. I haven't seen them. I might have to buy one. These are the real deal, though. These are actually poppets. They are cool. It's somewhat cool just to have in your cabinet of curiosities. They're not haunted. They're not cursed, but you can use them as a tool in ritual for voodoo practice. Yeah, even Tina's there saying she doesn't want these paintings in the house. There won't be. Tina knows what happened to me and to the family when these were in the house. That is because that is how strong your mind can be when you're putting out this energy because of an item, what you know has got a bad story to it or curse, if you like. Cinema Sweet. No, poppets. It's what they call the smaller ones, the smaller voodoo dolls. Trying to get you the address to the shop. So just some information. It's a doll that's made to represent a person for casting spells on that person to aid a person through magic or send them pain for the voodoo doll. They can be found lodged in chimneys around the house. It is actually an English word, isn't it? It's a term of endearment, not like the sweet Shandino. Dr. Masaru Emoto did. Oh, I know him, not personally. On a human conscious mind could affect the molecule structure of water. The research revealed that just by speaking, we manifest environmental changes. Yeah, you know, your mind is a powerful tool. You don't realize how strong it is. I was at point to be next at 13. If I chose to follow her and the priestess into Santeria, my grandmother passed at 11. Like voodoo, much has to be passed, and with guarded knowledge. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I totally understand what you're saying. Why the shed? Because I don't want to get rid of them, but I don't want them in the house. I know the shed 30 or 40 feet away from me. I know I'm safe. They're not in the house. Like I say, once we get famous enough to have our little haunted museum of weird stuff, they'll be in there. No need to be sorry anyway. It's just asking questions. So they have to be in the vicinity of the person they're being used for, not for the distance. No, I think voodoo doesn't have to be. Um, Person can be on the other side of the planet. You've probably heard of hoodoo from Africa. I've got a friend, Peter, who's not on tonight. He sometimes comes on a Sunday. He had his ex-wife was from one of the tribes in Africa. She came over to England, and something happened to somebody he knew. They received a certain item in the post. Can I talk about it on here? All right, I will do because I think we've mentioned it before. It was a pair of underwear. It was full of maggots, and when he opened it up, it was there. This was a hoodoo curse, and this person started having bad things happen to them. Um, and Peter knew about it because he'd spoken to his wife about it. It wasn't her that had done it, but she obviously, from that background, she knew what was going on. The only way to stop it was through religious prayer. Energy for the paranormal to me is like sometimes walking into a room and feeling like people were just arguing, but no visible sign of it. Yeah, yeah, it's different for everybody, isn't it? When you can feel there's an energy in a room. Yeah, exactly what Tina's saying, Mr. Rough Dog. No need to be sorry. We just feel more comfortable when they're in the shed. I've managed to stay alive this long because I won't tempt fate. I won't push something. Why would you put them in a chimney? Some people would put cursed items in a chimney so you wouldn't know there was there, so the curse was constantly there. Yeah, I mean you've heard of like witch bottles if you're from the UK. I mean they found a lot of witch bottles in was it Lancashire in the brickwork of the old cottages. Some of these were for protection. Some of them were for um, nasty stuff. But they also found like mummified cats in the brickwork, and I think that was for protection. I can't remember. It's a few years ago since I was looking into that. What? Voodoo chanting and such is like praying, sending the intent and energy forth into existing. Yeah. And some people would say, well, I don't believe in voodoo, so it can't attack me. I've seen it happen. It can. Somebody's somebody's mind is that strong enough to send that intent out into the universe. You're gonna know about it. A hex bag has to be near the person you curse. All right, okay. I just can't bring myself around to believe in curses. Maybe I didn't know enough about it, Roy. Um, like I said, I don't believe in curses. It sounds strange, that doesn't it? After what I've said about the paintings, I don't believe they're cursed. It's the energy we manifest, and that itself could be labeled as a curse. It's a curse is a strong word from hundreds of years ago, isn't it? Because they didn't obviously understand how the brain works. Charlotte, whereabouts are you from? They used to put shoes under the floorboards as well. I know they found some bottles under the steps in some old cottages, and they had like I think was it brass nails or something in them, and hair. Oh, was it iron? Yeah, it probably was an iron nail. Pedal Hill, it's Pendle. Yeah, it's around the Pendle area. I visited Pendle so many years ago. Really interesting. So the slaves were able to secretly practice even in plain sight in ways. Yeah, yeah. Brian's pagan has had some friends go down the dark path. It never ends nicely. No, negativity. You don't need it in your life, and to go do something what's kind of classed as like black magic, if you like, it's just being negative. So you're going to attract negativity, basically. Don't I wouldn't do it. I'd recommend not anybody doing it. Ashton under Lynn, Manchester. You're not that far from us. Charlotte, do you know about the Manchester tunnels? And if so, do you know how to get in? Because I've been contacting people over the last couple of years to get in these Manchester tunnels. I've heard rumours about entrances in cemeteries and also through manhole covers, but I'd like to go where somebody knows what they're doing the correct way in and things. Lindy Lou has now become a VIP. Welcome to the gang. So I need to mention for the members who become VIPs or members of the channel, every month we're putting out the Annabelle Project, which is based on um, Tony and I experimenting on all the moderators as a group to see if they can manifest a story what we've told them. It's based on the Philip experiment, but using the backstory of the Annabelle doll. Don't mess with things you don't understand. Yeah. Oh, you know about the tunnels, but you don't know to get in. You've heard a rumor about a manhole near the cathedral. They do official tours of them sometimes. All right, cool. That'd be cool to get in there. Yeah. Welcome to the gang, Lindy Lou. What's that? Looks like you need to sit down and have a chat to get some boundaries. You've heard of the Paris tunnels, the catacombs, part of a maze. Yeah, well, the Manchester tunnels, they're not catacombs as such, but they're kind of like there's tunnels everywhere, all underneath Manchester. And obviously, it's not that far from us, and we can't really go ourselves without some sort of guide because we would get lost. We got lost at the RAF base, so I know we'd get lost underground. Exploring with Danny might know. I'm not sure if I spoke to Danny before, you know. A lot of these explorers don't like giving away information to investigators, do they? So, with a bit of luck, I'm going to have another video up with regards to. I'll just move these voodoo dolls out of the way. So, this bit of kit. People have disappeared after going into the Paris catacombs, get lost, they die, or there's actually gangs in Paris what know the way around, and tourists obviously are attracted to them, who they go in illegally, shall I say, following these tourists, and they pretty much kill them, rob them, leave them down there, never to be found again. Somebody must be making money off the Manchester tunnel tours, Khalid. Yeah. Oh, he's changed. He's going back to the paranormal. Maybe ask him again. Yeah, yeah. I'll maybe get in touch. It's like having security guards. You are accepting things can go wrong. If I was famous, I would not have security guards, and you improve your chances of a better outcome. I mean, if we had maps, we'd maybe think about doing it alone, but obviously not wandering off too far. True witchcraft is not practicing magic. A beginner witch is a witch that practices. All right. That's one way to look at it. So I'm doing another video, and it's revolved around these things. The Xbox Kinect. This is the older one. This is the one that was off originally the 360. You've seen the SLS cameras with these stickman figures. I've debunked the SLS camera. Going to do another video at some point, and I know a lot of people use them and won't like it and will kind of start biting my head off because I've debunked another bit of kit what they use, but you need to know the truth. Kinect is rubbish. Like I say, they don't sell these now. I think they've stopped making the Kinect. Even the newer ones from the Xbox One, they don't make them anymore. They've got something new out. I can't remember what it's called. But this is what you're finding on the SLS cameras, these type of cameras. Mike saying SLS is BS. Kind of agree, yeah. It's all right for gaming, but that was it. Guys, watch Paranormal Activity for the other day. There is real. You do like the content. Lindy, look, the Kinect is rubbish, yes. Obviously, when the software came out, people were paying hundreds of pounds. We just went onto the Microsoft site. I could even give people a link to get the software for free. But like I say, it's hard getting all of these things now, the SLS camera, because they've stopped making them. Making East Yorkshire accent coming out there, making them. Pointing at a doll so we can see the demon inside the doll as a stick figure. Yeah. Do you know what? I have pointed this thing at the Crime Boy paintings. Or I've done 3D construction of the face onto a computer. This was a few years back. Real interesting. But because of these aren't made anymore, they're quite old. The software kind of doesn't agree with modern day computers and tablets. So yeah, people will be stopping using them, I think, pretty soon. But I have debunked them. There's loads of things wrong with this thing when you're using them for paranormal investigating. I should maybe bring these videos out before you lot and go and buy these sort of things. I'd save you tons of money. The SLS will try to map a figure from the bump on the wall. You are correct. That's what it's designed to do. It's designed for gaming. It's designed to map a human figure, especially the arms, the legs. So it does. It will map into any shape. Ghost tube app is not real. No, I debunked that as well. If the Connect was a viable paranormal tool, then it wouldn't be repackaged and sold as so by the company. But that don't, because it's bunk. They don't sell them anymore because they don't make them anymore. It was never designed for paranormal investigating. It was designed for gaming. It was just for games, and then it wasn't that accurate. They have, I think, the Connect, not the Connect. They've Microsoft have brought out something very similar. What's meant to be a lot better. I can't remember the name of it. I was reading it the other day. Kalitos is almost done binge watching all PSI's videos. Wow, thanks very much, Kalitos. Some of them are all right. Some of the videos, some of them go over 15 years back. This is an old channel. SLS could have some merit. Problem is, SLS has a pattern algorithm. SLS without that could have some use for investigating. I don't know. I think because, I mean, you all know it shoots out hundreds, if not thousands, of little infrared beams, little dots. If you were to look for an infrared camera, you would see these dots all over the wall. And it'd possibly have to be something what is solid mass to move, to make these dots move. That way they measure depth as well as movement. So it was designed for gaming. And that'd be saying if there is any kind of ghost energy, it would have to be a solid mass. Whose idea was to use it for ghost hunting? I have no idea. The thing is, though, people use them cat balls for the same thing. They're just crap. We debunk them as well. Oh, you're disabled, Kalitos. You've got plenty of time on your hands. You can't investigate yourself. That is why we try to bring live investigations for, the armchair investigators that watch our channel. Paranormal Activity 4, that's where you first saw it. Callum watches a lot of PSI paranormal videos, but not all of them. Well done. I've removed hell of a lot of the videos off the channel. The debunking ones of Smoke Puppy, I just deleted a lot of them. I should have left them up because I was earning quite a lot of money off the AdSense, off the ads. The Smoke Puppy videos have done what was they needed to do. It was to get Smoke Puppy to admit that these videos are for entertainment. We all knew it was just complete rubbish. He eventually wrote a disclaimer saying it's for entertainment, but he still kind of bangs out that it's real, even though he puts a disclaimer up. But that's all we wanted him to do, so I removed them. It was a lot of fun doing them, but the reason we kept it Smoke Puppy for so long was because it was over a year, because he was just a complete, nearly swore then, he was horrible to not just us, but everybody. Everybody that questioned his videos, he threatened them, he called them names, he made them feel crap. Charlotte saying Laney and Ben are at it again. You know what? If I start debunking Laney and Ben, I mean, we've backed away from the debunking for a bit anyway, but if we start doing that, they're going to claim that we're bullying them. That's all they do. They claim that people who try and questioning their videos are bullying them, and that's what they did to Beardo. Pug slutty. He's took the disclaimer down. If he's took that disclaimer down, then he's fair game. Shandy thinks the apps add interest, as they do most ghost hunting gadgets. The only way to experience something is firsthand, and if you're lucky enough to experience with others, that's luck. Yeah, the only thing we don't use apps because I know what you're saying. On a general paranormal investigation, nothing happens. It's very, very rare. It's about 95, 96% nothing. The other couple of 4 or 5% is gonna you might get something, you might get an EVP, you might hear knocking like we did the other night. So people start using apps, but apps are just for entertainment. You know, I'm not saying that you shouldn't use them, but you can't use it as evidence. You can't say, "Oh yeah, there's a ghost over there," or the ghost radar is pinging away. Oh, there's a ghost in the corner. It's not. But that's just us. We're scientific. We're skeptical, um, and they are just for entertainment. So you can't stand smug puppy. His house needs work done on it. Says living amongst souls paranormal. Certainly does. You'd think he'd earn enough money off the fake videos he's put out to buy a couple of tins of paint or even some cheap wallpaper and get it done. And I know the guy claims he's disabled, but there's a family of them. They can sort it out. All that black mold as well is not good for you. It's hard to translate personal experience visually, which is why apps and gadgets help maybe. Um, yeah, I mean, again, with that, we would just say that apps are not real, are they? They're not. They're just for entertainment. And I know thousands of people use phone apps when they're going looking for ghosts, but you shouldn't do really. But that's us coming from an experienced team of scientific investigators. Normal people we just class them as kind of ghost hunters, looking for that thrill, if you like. He needs to Smug Puppy needs to focus on his health and put lots less effort into his fake career. Is it Eric? Yeah. Looney and Bin restarted their haunted house 48 hours after Beto said he's done with debunking them. Right. The thing is, we got the message out. People know that they are fake. And if you write in Looney and Ben's comments that I believe this video is fake, he just deletes it. You use the GT, I don't know what that is, and Spirit Talker. Is that the one what Haunted Fan has developed? To extent to kick things off. How does it kick things off? How does a phone app kick paranormal activity off? If 2 or 3 words, if nothing corresponds with a location, it's discarded. The thing is, these phone apps need your permission to go on your phone. And when you press yes, they access all the data on your phone, like the phone book, your text messaging, your search patterns on Google, everything. So it will come up with words that are relevant to you. And we've debunked that as well. The best thing to do, just don't use them. You'd be more respected as an investigator if you don't use phone apps. Even if nothing happens, at least that's genuine. We've gone to hundreds of places and hardly anything happens. We still make videos, but there's not a lot of paranormal activity at all in it. We just show people what we're up to, walking around, doing sound recordings. And people go, "Oh, yeah, not much happened, though, did it?" Well, no, because you can't guarantee paranormal activity. You just ask someone who knows a lot about history about the Manchester tunnels, and he knows little. If the Beatles had visited the Mank tunnels, then he'd know. All right. If there was something to it, someone would have made an open source app by now. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to use your mobile phone on a paranormal investigation, I would only use it for taking maybe photographs because your proper digital camera died, or taking some sort of voice recording because you've no more batteries in your digital recorder. Hi Lisa, how are you doing? You don't have to give them permission. Well, the ones I've kind of debunked, I had to give them permission to install on my phone. But I do agree with you that they're not worth anything. Don't remember what cert team it was, but they would remove the antenna from the SB7. You mean the PSB7? And it seemed to get less interference from radio stations. Or you can get one like ours. I'm not going to get it because it's behind this wall, and I've only sat in my boxer shorts. The one we got off Appy Droid, it goes to the lower FM frequency, which is the non-commercial. So there's nothing on it. It's pretty much white noise. Um, because if you're going to buy a PSB7 and take the aerial off, you might as well just buy a white noise generator. How long have we been on? So we're hoping to get out. It probably won't be this week because we've got a team meeting on Saturday. Um, Obviously not live. We're meeting with the mods. We're discussing some stuff. People have asked us to make a merch shop, so we're actually looking into that. Satmy Boxers, go on, give us a show. I don't think Tina'd be very happy. Getting backache sat here. You mainly use Spirit Box and EVP when I go. Rarely use phone. I like to keep it simple when I investigate. Yeah, we're kind of like that, Callum. We're well into taking EV or trying to capture EVPs at the minute, and we always have a video camera. Because wherever we go now, we seem to have our mobile phones on a tripod somewhere doing a live. Just so you guys can see what we're up to. Still has the AM FM receiver chip inside there. Don't know if that matters. We've had white noise generator playing, and we've heard words coming through it. It could be audible pareidolia, I suppose, but we've both heard the same thing. So demons. It was demons. Demons. I ain't got my list on me. Otherwise, I would tell you where we're going. Hopefully next week. It's a Roman settlement. What I think it was somebody called Claire was mentioning. I don't think she's in tonight. Anyway, so I'm going to get these crying boy / girl pictures wrapped up and get them put back in the shed because they're not staying in here tonight. Carry a notepad with 200 random words and blindly point to a word now and then. That's the analog spirit app. That's what they're designed to do, isn't it? But these apps are programmed with 200 demonic dark words, aren't they? Like we said this the other night. They never just come out with a random thing saying teabag or lemon. It's always demon, skinwalker. That's the thing at the minute, skinwalker. Everybody's got a skinwalker in the basement. It was a face melter. Huh? Callum, if we do a live stream investigating, it's normally on a Friday, but we're not going to do one tomorrow because on Saturday evening we've got a team meeting. Is it? It can't be part 3. Next Friday, Rachel. Not this Friday, next Friday. It can't be. We've only just done one of the Annabelle projects. Aren't demons biblical? Are they spiritual beings? Who knows? or are they just figments of our imagination, or are they what we've actually just kind of created by thinking about? Wayne Hemingway would buy them. He's got loads on his ceiling. I'm not selling them. They're really rare. You can't get hold of them. So I'm keeping them, but I'm not keeping them in the house. No, Rick, it can't be next Friday. We've only just done an Annabelle project. Well, if we're doing the Annabelle project next Friday, we'll put a live camera on. Um, but it wouldn't be fair that we let everybody see everything what's going on or listen to it. We'll let you watch through a window because the members of the channel pay a subscription to see that. So that's what that's for, really. But we'll give you small insights as we're doing it, so you can have a look and maybe think about joining so you can watch it. Anyone who uses the apps, you always hear the same thing from them, no matter where they are. Lindy Lou, yeah, I agree. The dog fart was a face melter, huh? I'm on the mind that we ourselves are the best paranormal research devices. Our capabilities are rather profound. Meditation and grounding techniques can be extremely helpful. Yeah. Spooky Dookies reviews. That is okay. Have a good meeting. We will. We always spend most of the meeting just having a joke and a laugh. Nothing ever gets sorted. We talk about a lot of things, but nothing really happens. If we only use 10% of our brain, is either 90% responsible stuff pareidolia of the perceptual? Well, pareidolia. No, when you think about it, when we're born, the first thing you kind of see is your parents' faces, and you don't even know it, but you're learning to recognize shapes and faces, so you know your parent. Um, so when we see things like I'm looking at, we've got some wallpaper up, I can see images in it, but that's my brain trying to recognize a facial kind of shape because that's what our brains are programmed to do. Um, and I think there's been new research as well to say that we don't just use 10% of our brain, we use 100%. We just don't know what it does. Yeah, the 10% thing is, I don't think that's real either, Mr. Rifter. I have seen it somewhere that we do actually use all of our brain, but maybe just don't know what it's for. Sounds like family meetings when you was a kid. Well, no, I mean it's kind of like team building as well because we all get to meet each other, just stay in touch with each other. Guys, that's why you recognise the milkman. Is he a parent? It's with every living animal. It's not just humans. That any animal will recognise the parent. It's instinctive. It's why animals like dogs will look at your eyes. Yeah, have to update your knowledge base, Brian. No, I mean it's just my opinion. I think I've read it somewhere about the brain. Can't remember where. That's how good my brain is. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what each part of the brain does. No, Friday's meeting. Sorry, Saturday's meeting. Sometimes we have a barbecue with beers. Sometimes we'll just kind of get together, sit round the table outside with a cup of tea and a biscuit, and have like an agenda we're going through. Because although obviously PSI is mine and Tony's, the mods are part of the team as well, so we like to get their input. Your brain functions when it wants to. Animals recognize their parents through more than visual. Yeah. Yeah. The older I get, my brain's not working very well. I'm expecting biscuits now. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, should I? I think we've got some biscuits somewhere, Rachel. They do, Brian, yeah. So I need to wrap these things up. I would recommend if you see any of these crying boy pictures in your charity shops, if the genuine ones, even the prints, buy them because they're very difficult. They're hardly coming up anywhere now, and I think even that one would probably sell for over £100. I only paid about £2.50 for it. Burn them? No, I can't burn them. They're fireproof. Biscuits do equal cookies, yes. So we are very British. We drink cups of tea and have biscuits. Buy them, keep them in your shed. Yeah, even though I won't have them in the house. If you want to make a small investment, just buy them. A lot of paranormal researchers will buy them off you. They're worth, like I said, a lot more money than what you'll pay for them. You've got the Green Lady. Can't remember what the Green Lady looks like. Chips are fries, yes. But American fries are a lot like skinny fries, aren't they? English chips are pretty thick. Those of you from the UK will know, obviously, the chip shop. I prefer chips from a fish and chip shop than I do McDonald's. I prefer proper chips, homemade chips. If you're from Hull, it's a bread cake. Yeah, it's not a bun. English and Aussie chips are real chips. Yeah. You've noticed a lot of people keep talking about cookies. Why? We're having a meeting, a PSI meeting on Saturday. We're having tea, coffee, and biscuits. And people were saying, "Are biscuits cookies?" Yeah, I think in America you would call them cookies, but in England we call cookies the fatter ones with like chocolate chips and things in them. British bacon isn't crunchy. Depends how long you cook it for. You call them steak fries, right? Steak chips. I've heard them call that steak chips, I think, before. You love the difference in the English language. If you're from Kent, it's called, is it a bread roll, not a bread cake? In Hartford, we call subs grinders. Cool. What, sub, like Subway. I know it's turned into a food conversation, this. Oh, they're called muffins there. Muffins to us are like a big, what, in like a cupcake casing, like pretty big, like buns sort of things. That's what we call a muffin. Like blueberry muffins, chocolate chip muffins. I think it depends which part of the UK you come from. Trousers equals pants. Yeah. Tea cakes. See, our tea cakes, Shandy, have got like currants in them. Cob, balm. I know what they all are, but we do actually call them a bread cake or a bread roll. Sub was short for submarine. Anyway, current tea cakes here. Yeah, they're like hot cross buns where you're from, Shandy. Your mother used to make currant jam. It was awesome. Lindy's getting hungry. You're getting lazy in Lancashire. Are you any near Shandy? Are you anywhere near Pendle? Have I asked you this before? Come to Hull and get a patty. It's the only part of the UK they exist, isn't it, Rachel? Everywhere else they're called a fish cake. Mike, this is giving you the munchies. You don't like hot cross buns, too much nasty dried fruit. Crumpets are English muffins in America. All right. Are you in its shadow? Well, if we ever go to Pendle, we'll have to pop in for a cup of tea to see Shandy. Just inviting myself for a cup of tea. It's a potato cake or scallop, Lindy Lou. Potato cake or scallop. I'm not sure. You thought a patty was Jamaican thing, like Cornish pasty, but Jamaican. No, a patty is potato, fish, sage, and something else. Rachel, and I don't know what's in it. And then it's dipped in like batter and then fried. Really nice. Apparently, it's the only place that it's Hull. What do them? American chip spice is invented in Hull, and Americans have never heard of it. All right. I know. Is this a food show? Paranormal show, says Bullwitz. Oh, cool, Shandy. We'll be there if we go to Pendle. That's a fish cake. Right. In Australia, that makes for a great food argument, says Lindy Lou. If nobody puts a curse on your food, you'll be all right. Anyway, it's been a great laugh about talking about food and what they're called in different parts of the world. Oh, fish cake is breadcrumbs, not batter. Right. Patsies are popular in Mexico, introduced by Cornish silver miners. All right. Pasties. Oh, like the Cornish pasty, yeah. Yeah, very popular here as well. We still eat the pasties. The patty is mashed potatoes, sage and onion, and battered, and then deep fried. Healthy eating there for you. You know what I used to do, Rachel, with a patty? I used to put it in a bread cake, not a barn, a bread cake, and eat that. A patty does not have fish in it, doesn't it? I thought it did. Do we still do hot pots in Yorkshire? We do. I don't know the ingredients. I can imagine what's in it. Oh, ask Tony to upload his most haunted hotel footage. I will ask him. I know he was looking at it. Tony works hell of a lot of hours. It's when he can do it. But I will ask him. I think he's on live. Is he on live tonight? Rachel or Tina? Is he on TikTok? Yeah, anybody that's just kind of recently joined, watch the beginning as we talk about cursed items and objects and the painting boy pictures. That's a fish fritter. Oh, you're confusing me now, Rachel. Fish and potato is fish fritter. Okay. A Devon pasty is Cornish, so that's what you thought. Right. Yeah, Tony's on TikTok now. Is he doing short tarot readings? Yeah. Everyone stop talking about food, please. Food is not the subject, says Living Among Souls Paranormal. I know I'm good at eating food, but that's probably where it stops. I can cook. Yeah, everyone, we're off. Uh, Thank you so much for joining us, joining the chat, and contributing by telling me about food, cursed objects, and things. Are those short tarot readings for short people because you're over 6 foot? No, they're 3 card readings, normally about 5 minutes long, no cost. Tony, he picks names off the whoever's on the chat and just gives them a quick reading. Lindy Lou by Mike. Thank you for joining us. Shandy, thank you for joining us. Rachel, Tina, Babs, Kalitos, Gaz, Callum. I'm just seeing if I've missed anyone. Roy, I've said Lindy Lou, Mr. Rough Dog, Gaz, Woolowitz, Living Among Souls Paranormal. I've said Mike. I can't remember if I said Mike. Anyway, Mr. Rough Dog and Lisa and everybody else, thanks so much for joining us. We'll try and get some more paranormal videos on the channel shortly. Bye, Lisa. Have a good weekend. Hit the like on the way out, says Mike. Off to the shed with you. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to wrap these back up and put them back in the shed. We'll have to do a video on some of our weird objects, won't we? You're being awesome. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon.